Hey, it's your boy Dustin from the Flying Chair. It's the Rise Podcast with my sexy co-host Chrissy. You know you're not gonna miss that girl. And guess what? I got a super special guest today, and I love this girl. And it's her third time on our podcast, and she is so fun to talk to because her homeland has the most mysterious phenomenon that I think on Earth, because the government and half the population of Iceland believe what the hell is going on is real. And Rona is going to dive deep into that subject with us again, because to hear from your mouth, it's, I think, even better. So, Rona, how you been?
Thank
What's
you.
new? Yeah.
Oh my goodness, thank you for having me. Thank you. Beautiful people, again, gorgeous people. I'm really honored to be in your presence and amongst you. Um, I am thriving. I'm starting now a new study on trauma yoga. So that's super exciting. Got called today. You're in if you want to do the trauma yoga teaching. And so yeah, that's exciting. Deep diving into that. Been doing a lot of spiritual diving. You kind of get intertwined in those things. So it's been a lot of exciting journeys and developing my own things, if you want to say so. But, the weird things, that that half-breed things that I'm fairly sure we are something different in that country from that island. So so many of us are born seers, open, and spiritual, psychics, or just somewhat, with a very hefty intuition. So it's so fun developing that, going those ways, and mingling with people with higher gifts, so you have something to reach up to. I love that. You unlock something new every time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, how you guys been? It's been a long
Really
time.
good.
I've been busy.
Really good.
Been
Yeah,
busy.
been busy. I've just been booking people left and right just to keep us just looking busy, like making us look like a full-time job. You spill on yourself.
Love it. Love it.
No, that's awesome. But no, again, Rona, just looking through your life through Facebook, you just live such a busy life. And like the quest of finding spirituality, and like I watched this video where you went to this one place. It's kind of like an art studio, but I feel like you go there to take things that made you mad, or your past was all fucked up, and you just want to put your anger into it by using paint or even smashing it. Can you get more detail of what that place is about? Because that's really interesting. When I saw it, I was like, whoa, what is that?
I think it looked more aggressive because we were, taking it out on my wedding dress. I donated my wedding dress. But yeah, it was a course with people that have gone through trauma. And the point of that journey was to throw paint on paper, on wall. I decided to bring a wedding dress. I mean, it's white. I wasn't using it. It had done its purpose. And I just thought it would be such a cool thing. And I bought it used, and because something used, something new, everything in once. So it didn't have that, like, I can't let it go. So and there was this one guy that had just had half of his spine removed, cancer, an Australian fella. It divorced, rough divorce, and I sit there, I was like, does somebody want to get their, anger, something out on a wedding dress? He's like, hell yeah, Mike, get out of me, wait. And he just went at it. It was beautiful. I was like,
sounds therapeutic.
how therapeutic. And he just loved it. And we had this amazing talk afterwards. Such a cool guy, such a cool history. But yeah, it was it's called power art or kraftkunst, and
Hmm.
it's in Tønsberg. It's basically a like it's for children as well, but it's also like this you can come into this wonderland of art and crafts as an adult and just do shit like this. And
Mm.
it's amazing. And the girl
Yeah.
who runs it, she's such a like such a fairy thing. She's like, yeah, it's so cute, and everything is just super normal to her. This is super normal. She's like, go crazy, do the games, do the yeah. It's you saw the video. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to do like this. Yeah, when you come in, you have to go on this route on the floor.
Yeah, I saw that. I
It's
thought that's very
yeah,
creative, like of taking your
yeah,
steps and like again, like fixing yourself and getting rid of the past that's kind of being this anchor that's whatever it is, kind of holding you back
and
and having
mm,
others even express their anger onto your stuff too. Or you can again, I thought that was a very awesome concept for a place to release and stress and therapeutic with other problems in their life. I mean, again, I thought that was really cool. And the fact that you were there, like, these plain old pants, they're not plain anymore. I'm like,
I haven't seen the video.
you
I
haven't seen the
haven't seen
video?
it yet. I'm
Oh,
gonna have
you
to
would.
check it out.
I'll
I
send
know
it to
that
you.
creation
oh
can be very therapeutic, but I guess destruction can be too. Is this like a destructive?
yeah,
I feel like you put the destructive into it, but it turns into
Yeah.
art because
Oh,
you're
I
using
see.
yeah.
paint. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? It's like
It's called
almost a flip flop. I don't know.
yeah, it's called smash painting.
Mm.
Okay.
Smash painting, which is I love that concept, smash painting, because and again, when we came in there, you connect with your inner child without trying. It just
Mm.
happens. You cannot fight it. It just pops up, and you start to see all the other adults there, seeing their inner child, who they were kind of as children, and
Uh,
and it was just what a cool concept. What a cool
No, it was.
concept.
Again, when I saw
Yeah.
that, I was
So
really
cool.
blown away, and it's something maybe I would like to do or something like that. That is very awesome, and I'm glad that worked
Mm.
for you. If you would ever go again, or again, I liked how at the end too, you're like, now look at me, I'm art now, because you're just like you just splatter paint all over yourself because you're. I don't know. Do you take do you just take paint brushes and just
Yeah,
kind of
it's
splatter like
sponges.
this, and then or yeah,
Sponges.
sponges. Okay, yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know how
take
you throw
sponges,
stuff.
you dip them in paint, and then you throw the sponges at the wall. At the dress.
Right. Well, like, yeah, everything is basically covered in paint, like the floor and the ceiling. But again, it's just that's so
Yeah.
cool. And I think here in America and maybe a few other places, we have this places where you can smash lamps and computers just to get your anger out.
Yes.
Mm,
Don't you
yeah.
heard of
After
this,
a
Chrissy?
breakup or something, there's like a smash room where you can just destruct microwaves, etc.
That's awesome. Would you
I
ever want
don't
to go there,
have,
Mm.
Chrissy?
mm, I mean, if I have something to be angry about, I haven't had something to be angry about in quite some time.
Well, good. I think everyone would like that answer. Well, good.
I would love to try that just to have tried it, just to destroy, when do you do that? When do you take up a baseball bat and just go rampaging on?
No,
Yeah.
You don't.
limited opportunity in life to
Yeah.
destroy things.
Yes.
Right?
And I think it's just like the mess you would have to pick up if you just did it in your backyard. You're like, oh, like I'm depressed now that I have to pick all of these millions of pieces up.
Exactly.
But at least you go to these certain places where you smash everything and I pay people obviously to clean up these rooms.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
After a
like the fact that
breakup
they,
or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, and I like the fact that they pick things that you usually are really careful about not to break when you
yes,
have
yes.
them.
Yeah.
Growing up, like computer screens and etc., where you want just like, "Oh," if it broke,
Right.
and there you get to kind of like take it out, just like, oh, all these years of watching over you.
It
Were
would
you the
be kind
first?
of fun. Yeah.
Were you the first woman to bring in a wedding dress at that
Yeah,
place? I can imagine like
absolutely.
people who were there, like, damn, something went crazy in her life. In her past.
It's usually
Yeah,
such a
we're taking
sentimental
this
item.
wedding dress and we're gonna destroy it with art. My
Yeah,
ugly past.
and this dress became so much more. Actually, it came. I took it in, hoping it would be like a great concept, like a great experience, but it became such a bigger thing. Uh, Women were like, fuck patriarchy and throwing it at it, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
like
yeah.
fuck this virginity shit, and the girls there just going all out. But the dress itself became such a beautiful concept as well. So I was
Yeah.
always gonna donate the dress, and I donated to this organization that had this course, and then it's gonna get auctioned off. But the dress itself now is amazing, and it's
Oh,
like such a fashion thing, and it's
Yeah.
in it's and it's like this 80s dress where you had like that corset and then the
Yeah.
poof.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
like
love
like
it.
the
That's
like the
something.
prom dresses. Yeah, it's the
Yes.
same type of dress, and it's gonna get auctioned off. And so it just became this beautiful concept, but it can now be used as a fashion statement as well. This is something you can walk down the and like the lady said that had that like, holy shit, this is like a red carpet dress now.
Yeah.
Like
Love
Well, the
it.
seriously,
fact
you would
the
look
fact
cool as fuck in it.
yeah,
For
no, the
real.
fact that the person who buys it and actually maybe wears it at her wedding, even if she knew how and why this was made, say it's maybe a different outlook because
Mm.
like I'm renewed. This
Yeah,
is fashion now. You know what I'm saying? It's just so cool. Again, just the recycle
yeah.
of
It
bad
Might
it
and
have a
good.
probably
deeper meaning to someone, yes.
yeah, but it probably won't be used as a wedding dress, but more as a fashion
Oh,
I
sure, sure, sure.
item. Yeah.
Okay.
But if somebody wants to marry in it,
Madonna will wear
you
it.
go,
It's
girl.
honestly more of a
Mhm.
rebellion dress at this point, or
It
a
is.
rebellion
It
of
is.
marriage dress at
Mm.
this point.
That's really cool. So
Yeah.
I had to mention that, and I'm glad that you gave more information. That was really cool. That was super dope. But yeah, let's hop over to Iceland.
Yes.
Iceland.
Yeah.
That's one island that Trump has not bought yet. That fucking asshole. But yeah, isn't that weird about what do you guys think about that with Trump and Greenland and all that? It's just isn't that this weird and nonsense? Uh
Oh my goodness. It just shows that he has never been to Greenland and
yeah,
he
no.
just does not know anything about the Greenland nor its people. And and
Yeah.
it is just such a hopeless, we're such hopeless people or nations to try this shit. And they're like, you need to be kept safe from war. And they're like, we live in -40. What the fuck are you talking about? We literally eat seal meat to survive the winter.
And Will
You need to be
Blubber.
kept safe. Like nobody goes there. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody,
That's
nobody goes
funny.
there. And if you go there, you will remember not to fuck with those people.
You know what we should
I
do
bet they're
is
tough.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they are tough as nails.
You
No,
gotta be to live.
if if Trump ever does visit Iceland, we should encourage him to throw rocks everywhere. Just throw them, and then
Mm,
hope that one of the elves kidnap his ass and tie it to a tree. It's just
Trump
like,
will fuck with those elves, despite
I,
signs telling him not to. Trump will fuck with those elves
hey, I
and
saw a
find
picture,
out.
Rona. I saw a picture on your Facebook of this woman wearing a wedding dress with Trump as a Nazi or Hitler, and I thought that was
mm,
again, you really don't need much words to see that image is very powerful and it just says it all. But yeah, again, it's
yeah,
that's really crazy. But again, it's just the weird thing that he wants Greenland, and it's just like
yeah,
no, there's people that live there too, and I think it's as secret or as I don't know. I bet it's got its own phenomenon there. They might have pyramids there. Who knows?
well, Greenland is so rich in minerals, and then they have a bay outside of the land, which is like really rich in oil. But the Greenlanders will not, and the Danish, they will not rig it. They will not dig it because of the environment. So
Sure.
that's why.
Sure.
And yeah, it is strategically like it is between like Europe and America, but it is, you know,
Yeah.
it will never happen. Just and the fact that and the timing is so bad. The timing is so bad because Greenland just had like an election, and they the nationalist, like not nationalist, but the nationalist in like independence
Mhm.
to grow from independence from Denmark, they like destroyed the election.
Oh
And
wow.
like 2 weeks later, turn comes, they're like, we're gonna buy you, and they're like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. No. Yeah, and he wants to
I'm
make
so
a
yeah,
paradise in Gaza too. So well, you
yeah.
start with that one. I don't know. Um,
I think if and my opinion might be unpopular, but I feel that since we have come to this point with Gaza, with Palestinians, with Ukraine, with like a lot of civil wars in Africa and Haiti, and like the cartels in Mexico, there is just so much malice, so much cruelty, and there is so much indifference beside that cruelty. It's like the cruelty is one thing, but then there's the evil of man, which is the indifference, and it's so cruel, it's so evil, and that's like the other half. And I feel like at this point, maybe all of this is necessary evil to like push
mhm.
people in the world to start like sorting your own more like moral compass out.
Morals, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what do you wish to stand for? It is not like the red versus the blue anymore, the right versus the left. It is more like, do you wish to be a part of this, or do you wish to be a part of a revolution in humanity where we find like the common compassion for our next of kin, our like neighbor? And it is in every single like Islam or Christianity, it is preached all over the place. And I feel like this is like some like a underwave coming up of people rising up, going like, fuck you, this is my neighbor, you touch him, I will fuck you up. It's them.
Yeah.
and and the fact that like that the government and the what's going on in America is so much Nazi like in like Second World War in Germany. It
Mhm.
is like it is so eerily similar
It
that I
is, yeah.
am really hoping that the people rise up, voters for him or not, just going like, this is not what we asked for at
Well, I
all.
think a
This
lot of the Republicans
nobody
that
wanted
voted
this.
for him are kind of shocked, especially that the crazy far right wingers, the ones who still level headed, can't talk straight, but no, like they're very surprised that like he's done this really flippy thing again, just doing so much
Hmm.
shit at once in this kind of
Yeah.
dictatorship image. It's not cool.
Attacking the most vulnerable, attacking those that the veterans and people on disability. So people can't collect their social security, and it is just it's messed up. It's going like billionaires find that the people that have nothing have too much.
Mhm.
It really, yeah, it's not great,
Well, it's
but
actually no. Again, I really like hearing other like your opinion from a different country, how it looks from
yeah,
the outside, because we only see what's from the inside. And again,
I
yeah,
just
people
hope
people are
that
looking, people are
people.
watching. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I just really hope that everybody can like find that common ground, because then it will be easier for those on the right to stand up, and easier for those on the left to have compassion. If we
It's
can
true.
find the common ground, that this isn't longer you are wrong and I'm right, that it's not about that anymore. Now it's more like on the fundamental beings who we are as humans, and I
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah.
But I don't love what's going on. No.
No. Well, you know what? I think America could learn a lot from Iceland, how they, they share a world with other beings, and the government takes that seriously enough where you guys coexist with Iceland,
Yeah.
where they're peaceful, but again, there's some trickery. Some, if you do something to them, obviously they will come at you, especially when you're moving rocks or building roads. Please, I mean, you get into detail with more like the elves, maybe how they look, and again, how do you think the government contacts the elves to gain permission to do some of the things on Iceland? Does someone write a message in a bottle and throw it near the cove? And then we're hoping to get a message back? Or is there like a Men in Black type deal that the government has, that they know a secret place to go to meet and have some kind of federation with them? You know what I'm saying? And again,
Yeah.
you have the people who've been living there for hundreds of years have interacted physically with them, have gone to their world and never came back. And the fact that mermaids seem to be attracted to this place because there is so much phenomenon. And then there's I don't know who these guys were. They were in the submarine near Iceland where they filmed the best footage of a mermaid, and that was just mind blowing. The fact that talking to you
It was
first,
actually, I think it was Discovery. They were doing like
it was on the
a
Animal Planet. Here, I
program.
actually got pictures.
Yeah, Animal Planet. Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you just tell us a little brief, just how they look, how, what's a little bit of the history? Because I know Thor too is one of the gods that interacted. I was going to show you that. Here's
Webbed hands, as
the web's
commonly
hands.
described.
Yes. And it almost kind of that blue, like the see-through skin. It's kind of like the jellyfish, kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's right off the coast of Greenland, between Greenland and Iceland.
Yes,
Now,
that's what's taken. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like that alien face.
humanoid.
It looks
And
like
yeah,
an alien.
that face looks like an alien face. And mermaids, when they're described, like real mermaids, are not described as beautiful as they often are
No.
in Disney and such.
Yeah, no, it's more like that underwater, like deep water creatures we see with that light hanging out like in front of
Oh
them.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more in that direction.
But the fact that there's history all around the world, like the Japanese were talking about
Yeah.
it, and then like ancient Hindus were talking about these beings
Well,
again,
yeah,
and
they're like
all
part
over.
gods as
Just
well.
yeah.
I mean, this Earth is really old, and if we
What do
didn't
you think
have
Iceland was
dinosaurs,
so special?
well, in Konungsbok, I have it behind me. Let's see if I can get it. It's like actually one of my uh, this one that is like the book of the King's Book from Snorri
Oh, cool.
Sturluson.
Wow.
It is it's a völukvæði. It's basically like the history of how Odin
Holy shit. Look how thick that book
put
is.
the world together. Yeah, and it's in such an old language, but beautifully enough, we still speak the language.
That's so
But
cool.
I would like to read for you like the first two verses.
Please, yeah.
Hljóðs bið ég allar kindir, meir og minni mögu heimdalar, vildi að valföður vel fyrr telja, fornspjöll fýra þau fremstum mann. Ég man jötna ár borna þá forðu mig fædda höfðu, nýju man ég heima, nýju íviðjur, mjöt við mæran, fýr mold neðan. It basically says, I ask for your silence, all of beings, more or less. Moga heimdalar, that is the forefather of all mankind. The Valfather, or Odin's heiti. And vel fyrtilja förspjöll, these are ancient tales of the first of the beings. I remember Jotuns, the Jotuns, árum borna, like the first of years. That this is talking of when the Big Bang.
Oh. Oh,
They are
sweet.
talking, this is talking science. This is science. They're talking about the Big Bang, how Earth came to be from between like between dimensions. They're talking about how like stuff came out of dimensions and crust, and the Newtons is the power where the Earth was formed, like yeah, billions years ago. So
Whoa.
the first two verses is it's basically they are talking like I ask of you to listen carefully, silence to be all around, and listen to how this came to be. Níu man er heima. That's they say the nine of the worlds I remember, the nine dimensions, which you can see on the Yggdrasil, which is like Elfheim and Jotunheim and all of these, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Níu Ívidur, Ívidur, it's like nine races. It's different races, right? The trolls, which is
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
Jotuns that, yeah. Mjöt við mæran fyrr mold neðan, which is like where he speaks of the tree, how they are set up, that there are these nine dimensions, and the Yggdrasil, the tree, is more like a highway connecting them.
Huh.
And Ragnarok was not in on Earth. Ragnarok was a war held in that came to be in that highway between the worlds, which everything collapsed, and those dimensions, those gates we had on Earth, they got shut down, and those gates being, pyramids, um, amongst other things, in
Like
Peru.
stargates. Hmm.
Yeah, stargates. They're like opening gates between these dimensions. And this is such common knowledge, such understanding we have. We grow up with this, and we understand that Iceland is a part of a very, very old supercontinent. It's like the last of it, which is still, above water. And the country and the land is it's weird. It's weird as shit. It is
Yeah.
very strange, very alien like, but very beautiful. And the veil between these dimensions, it is thinner at some places in on this earth than it is like in Norway. The earth here is really quiet. You don't
Mm.
have these vibrations you have in like Egypt and Peru or Iceland, or yeah, these really known vibrating places where the veil is thinner.
Hmm.
But in Iceland, the veil is really thin between Elfheim and yeah, and Earth.
I'd say
So
it's super thin if they could physically come over and like tie a
yeah.
dude to a tree and throw rocks at him. I'd say I'm like, holy shit.
Well, how can we feel confident that they are interdimensional beings and not pygmy type people? I've heard that they do have some powers. They can
Hmm.
pull and make people sick, correct? The Iceland elves?
Well, they do not seek out to harm, and we do not seek out to harm. There is like this old, like there is such a respect between these, but you do have the stories, if you like, that has gone between generations, and is written down as well, as a beautiful collection. So it's called The National Histories of uh, Þjóðarsögur Árnasonar, and where he has written down all of these customs you have when communicating with them, because you have these traditions you must follow. You do not respect the traditions, they will mess you up. And if we don't like if they don't respect our traditions, it's not going to be good. It's just not going to go, it's not going to go well. So we respect each other like highly, to the degree that yeah, there was a road construction in the 70s, and they were gonna blow themselves, or drill themselves through a yeah, this collection of rocky hill, and the people start getting sick and the machine just broke down, like new machines that weren't supposed to break down.
Sure, sure.
And yeah, and this started to, get out, like talked about, and made the news, and AC, like, and a lot of, seers are there, came up and said, forget it. You're
Mm.
never gonna get through that. That is a populated area. They have women, they have children there. That is a massive
Oh,
like alpha livings, like, yeah,
yeah,
that is there. And you try to go through there, you will, somebody's gonna get killed. So
sure.
they built a road around that
The rocks,
stone
yeah.
hill. Yeah, they changed it, and after that it was put into law that, if you're gonna go through the Elvish wonderland, like, yeah, through their habitats, then ask if it's okay, if it's empty, or if you can. So yeah.
So there's laws put in place for people to make sure people are respecting certain areas.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
literally in the law. Yeah. Not many
Yeah.
know that, but some people have, like, actually a Frenchman, this old French guy, in when I was in Vilnius in Latvia, had this beautiful cafe, and he said, I know something very few other know. You have a law protecting elves when doing road construction. I'm like, how do you know that? I know my stories, I know my things. So yeah, but I think we don't talk about it as well, or like it's not that fairly, popularized, and the tourism does not work on this angle because there is such respect. This isn't something we like. There is honor between that, and you just respect that.
Mhm.
You wouldn't mess this up. It's
No.
beautiful.
Yeah. And as a tourist, a lot of you guys tell them don't throw rocks around here. And you may not even
Mm,
tell them reason why. But again,
yeah.
maybe you do. You might hit an interdimensional being. That's the only thing that it seems like if you disrespect them first, they're gonna come at you, make you sick, or again, tie you to a tree. I don't know. That's the only way they would ever be menacing to you. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
the fact
it's
that
it's not the fact that they make you sick that we like. You don't fucking do that. It's the
yeah,
love.
yeah,
It's the love for them. Like like
Respect.
if yeah. Like,
mm,
do not fuck with this. That is like, that is like looking at somebody throwing rocks at a dog or a kid
oh,
or
that's
something.
fucked
Like,
up.
what the fuck are you doing?
Ah,
Yeah, yeah, right. That's
so
fucked up. That's how
no,
we feel.
that's
Like,
cool that
that's
you
fucked
had
up.
that reaction to the land there. That's the cool part. You know what I'm saying? That you feel like if someone did
Yeah,
that just to the land, it feels like it's like throwing rocks at a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
It sounds
that's
mostly
awesome.
That
peaceful people, but I'm curious about the illness that they have caused to people. Is this some sort of a radiation poisoning?
yeah, similar to that. Um, and but it is so rarely that has been done, out of malice. It's mostly if there has been, you know, something really wrong. But there is more, I think, of and but nobody has been made, like, nobody has gotten that sick from that, like, in decades, like, yeah, I think like 150 years maybe. But there has been a lot of midwives that have come through and asked for help. So
Oh,
childbirth, yeah,
whoa,
both ways.
whoa.
Yeah.
That'd be trippy. uh, and the fact that these elves, when some people, especially maybe America or other places, when you think of elves, there's like tiny little things with little, you know, pointy hats. But you describe them, and your people describe them like the Lord of the Rings elves, very
So they're
clean
Yeah.
cut,
larger?
very
Are
clean.
they,
They're humans, like same size as
oh, they're
humans.
just
Yeah.
the
Very,
size? Okay.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's why
Hmm.
they can have sex with them. You know what I'm saying? Like they,
Okay.
Hmm.
but very blonde hair, clean cut, and they just move with grace. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
guess we're
And
the
there is
magical.
different, and there is difference, like Elfheim and then the hidden people. It is not the same thing. These
Oh, it's
are
not the
two
same thing.
different dimensions. No,
Oh, tell us
two different
more,
things.
Rona.
The elves are the elves the elves
You're holding out.
are that I'm sorry,
No,
I'm
I'm just giving
sorry.
you shit. No, this is your fun.
No, the elves is a rare thing to see, and that is like on Midsummer's Eve. You can maybe catch a glimpse of them, and it's also like the summer solstice and the winter solstice connected to those two, where you can follow some rituals in certain holy places in the country where you can, because they travel in those dates. They found out that that's a traveling date, so they travel,
Do they
and
almost
there's
kind of
a
look ghostly almost?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And it's such a beautiful thing, and then you can communicate, and they can give you gifts or bear you, like, good fortune. But there's like really strict rules on how to come. You cannot talk to them. You can be spoken to, but you cannot answer back, or you will, sadly have to come with them, and not in a good way. Or
is there?
or you
Yeah.
lose your mind, kind of like madness settling in.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
you said that
But
before.
the hidden people are more bluish. It's like
Oh,
that the yeah, more bluish, and those those we have a lot more, like, interaction with. So much
whoa.
more. So Hultefolk and Alvafolk are two different beings. So yeah.
Are they still humanoid? Just with the bluish tint
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
still have long
Mm.
hair? That is,
Mm.
it almost kind of sounds like the Hindu gods that were blue and multiple arms. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's just weird that the blue concept of the skin.
Mm.
It's and even that
Yeah.
that mermaid that we saw, he had that blue skin looking like an alien, did he? Shit.
Vanessa
But
Man.
can.
here's the thing though. When it comes to Hultefolk, they often it's often children playing with children,
Oh,
really often. And there are many like stories from children that have been invited to their world, and they realize then, that, oh my goodness, I'm in a different world. But they described it as beautiful homes, very like, kind of like Bilbo Baggins, kind of like,
oh,
and
Oh,
beautiful nature, and just like healthy cows, really healthy cows, beautiful white and brown cows. I noticed like how the cows were really healthy and beautiful and fat, kind of like, and just
our
the
children,
air was, yeah, the
that's,
children, and yeah. So
are
that's,
children more likely to see the elves?
I think,
or the hidden
well,
people.
yeah,
People?
probably. We are fairly open, and then, it kind of wears off if you kind of like, yeah, don't take good care of it.
Right.
But there is, as you know, people go to like soul research evenings. It's called soul research evenings,
Hmm.
and it's like once a week in every town where you go and speak of these things, and talk, and yeah, to
You know
like,
what? That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, speak to the dead, and yeah, we are like I said, I think we're half breeds of some sort,
Oh
because
yeah, for sure.
it's more of a it's more of a like almost like a condition you're born with. And it's stronger in some families. Some families are just mental, but then and then it's like lesser in other families. But everybody has somebody in their family, which is kind of like a light tower
Huh.
for everything,
Do you
and
feel like you have
absolutely.
some skills like telekinesis or you can read minds or anything like that?
Yeah, I freaked
Yeah.
my daughter out once. Yeah, I asked her, what's the pin code on your phone, and she just looked at me like, think about it. And she looked at me, and I looked at her and stared at her, and then just went and opened the phone, and she's like,
Oh.
"Oh,
So that's significant. Do
You
you
should hear
often find
you should
that
hear
you
the
know
full
things you're
blown
not supposed
conversation. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
We're all talking at the same time. I want to talk to Rona first. No, sorry. Chrissy, you first. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Rona, do you often find that you see or feel things that you're not supposed to?
No, I see and feel everything that I'm supposed to see and feel with the given the fact how open I am.
Yeah.
I have, yeah, I'm very open and very seeing, and have a lot of strength when it comes to these things. Also, I see my past lives like
Oh,
back
tell me
to
more.
the year 1100, I think. It's like
What? I
the
want to know all about that.
Yeah, tell us more. And and then we did your face tattoo, and then that kind of has some. uh was it was it a god from Iceland that had that half the face tattooed, or what was
it's
that?
a goddess, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
goddess Hel in Norse mythology. It's the daughter of Loki. You saw her
fucking awesome.
yeah, she was played by Kate Blanchett in the Marvel movies, called
Yes,
Hela.
yeah,
Yeah, but played as their sister or something.
Yeah.
But she's actually the daughter of Loki, and she was the youngest when he got robbed of the kids because they were demigods. And she's a balance. She represents a balance between, like, she's like yin and yang, half dead,
yeah.
half alive. Half of the body was like dead and rotting process, and half of it was alive and beautiful and thriving. So she is like, yeah, the goddess of death, and you know, and her story and her, like, her grace, that she is one of the first of all deemed by Odin at such a young age, so it's like a child, to go down to Helheim in the cold, and to have this, getting this task that was like looked down upon, taking in people that did not die in war, that would be like the sick and the old, like children and old people, and people not worthy of going to, but some of them went to Freya as well, of course, the kindness, uh, and but yeah, she was judged by the nature of her parents because of how she looked, and she went down, decided to, like, do this. This is her task. She owned it. She, like, this is just
It's so poetic,
this is good.
and
Yeah,
especially
it's this,
you
and
relate that
she
to your
she
life too, where you got it first.
yes, absolutely, and it resonated a lot. And she did it with such grace and such um magnitude that of all the gods that have come through the human history, she is up there with God and Jesus and Allah, because we speak of hell
Hmm,
in all daily language.
yeah.
So her name is, what the hell? Like, it is like the most called upon So maybe Odin did know what he was doing, sending
Sure.
him down there.
Well,
Maybe.
again, your look in general seems like your ancestors live through you and they speak and scream of, like,
Hmm.
again, like, just by looking at you,
Yeah.
you know you're from the northern lands, like, and it's like the
Yes.
pride and love that you have for your culture, and the fact that you moved to Norway and fell in love with it. You're so in tune with the earth and what's going on. Like, there's pictures of you out in the woods in this beautiful gown, and you're listening to the earth with your ear to the ground type. Who was taking those pictures were awesome. But again, you're you. I love the fact that you live this almost magical life, and you have the freedom to do it, and
Hmm.
you have the support from your friends and family,
Hmm.
and you go to these, even you go to these rock band concerts, and you go and promote anti-bullying, and like
Yeah.
you get so involved with things that, like, you know hit a nerve with you, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like, I just how you just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
Full of
I'm not just gonna
passion.
say it. I'm gonna
Yes.
fucking put my foot down. I'm gonna walk there and do. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't just talk the shit. You just fucking do the shit, and then like, so fucking cool. I just think living vicariously through you, and others too. And just the way you look. I'm sorry. When I saw you the first, I was like, this girl is awesome. She's absolutely gorgeous, and she just tattoo. I love tattoos. I saw yours. It's just as powerful. And again, like your ancestors are just screaming that just radiates
Yeah,
off of you.
I
Like, holy
agree.
Christ. Like,
It's out of this world, and you
I'm like,
definitely have
holy
like
shit.
genuine Viking vibes.
Well, I'm surprised. I'm surprised an elf
Absolutely.
and like an elf was like, you need to marry my ass right now. You guys, I take you. I take you to this other dimension. Oh,
I mean,
Chris,
yeah, you're not wrong. It is such a part of me that
it
people,
is.
and I love when people come here to do the Viking things. You know, they have like these massive events in this town that I live in because this
Mhm.
is like the I live actually in the town where the Vikings wandered to Iceland,
Oh,
and one of
well,
them is up in
that's interesting.
yeah, Borre, and then it's Lofotur, which is up in the north, where they went to Iceland and migrated. And people that come here, they're like, oh yeah, so and they start quizzing me, and it just I love the fact like they want to be this so bad, the thing knowing just everything and quoting each and I just look at them and go like, if you're born as a part of this, you really do not have to study this hard or try this hard. Just listen.
Hmm.
Just listen. And if you listen, you will hear it. It will come through you. And and it does. I've I've haven't studied like and or like really went nerdy down in the stories or the sagas. But I know of course what I've read the saga at the Quiet and Völuspá, and it's really, especially Völuspá, which is like the oracle speaking of the worlds and the gods, and there is a lot of ethics in it and moral. It's really good for a moral compass. And I love the fact that the Norse gods weren't perfect. They
Hmm.
were, at
They
times
kind of,
quite mess. Yeah,
yeah,
they
they made like
were
human
they were
mistakes. That's why that's why again, that's why I love about these guys that we physically interacted with. Again, they
yeah.
had their own, and it's almost every holy book. They all had their mistakes and they all had their wars against each other because they can't agree on what they want to do with
Mhm.
man here. Like Prometheus giving fire to man, and they're like,
Yeah.
hell no, we're gonna tie your ass to a fucking giant rock and have a fucking eagle eat your liver every day for the rest of your life. Or whatever for all eternity.
I love that the gods are so flawed.
They are, aren't they?
Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're so human, and
they are.
and uh, and you know when we get like I was asked by a Mormon missionary once, like, so you really believe like there's a guy in the sky with a hammer? And I'm looking at literally, and I want to, God, and it fell out of my mouth. It wasn't, it wasn't
What'd
meant,
you
but it
say?
like, yeah. And remember, your God got nailed to a cross.
Oh,
There
snap.
you go. Good.
And but that was, and then it was meant as a joke, but
Yeah,
but
that's good.
basically to him I said, like, you need to understand that the gods were more of the face of human
Yes.
abilities, like the human, like what you have inside of you, what you aspire to, the war, the knowledge, the fertility. Don't look at it as like physical beings, like with the red beard and a hammer.
Yes.
I mean, that was, I mean, what was and what is, I don't know. I wasn't there physically,
Hmm.
but it is you know, what we have inside of us. And Odin, I love the fact that he, as the All Father, the Almighty, had these two ravens that he sent out to gather new information. Because if you do not keep up with studying what is new, what is new in technology, what is new, and you will fall behind. And knowledge is power. So keep studying. And he didn't mind, admitting that he didn't know everything. He just went
Mhm.
out there and learned, kept on learning. Also, too, he had this quote saying that I do, I do dearly fear for my ravens, uh, thought and mind, but more so for the mind or like memory.
Mhm.
So he
Mhm.
was like expressing his worrying about Alzheimer's,
Oh,
That's
getting
crazy.
Alzheimer's.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's how human these gods were, He was worried about getting Alzheimer's.
oh my God.
See, again, I just the physical interaction and these again, when I think about these, especially when I think about Thor's hammer too, it's not just a hammer. Had
Mm,
multi-purpose. Like it was a
yeah.
technology that humans could not even didn't have a vocabulary to describe it besides a hammer. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a thing that we use, kind of. I don't
Yeah.
know. But this thing has lightning and it flies and it can heal. Just amazing
Yeah.
stuff. This misunderstood technology.
Misunderstood technology, kind of like, what the pyramids were, and
Speaking of the
you know,
pyramids, did you
what
hear?
was before Ragnarok, before the gates got shut down. Yeah.
Did you hear the news and it's happening in the Great Pyramids?
No.
Well, they made a discovery recently where they got new technology where they're like using sonar, go deeper under the ground of the great biggest pyramid there of Kiva, or what the hell it's called. But anyways, they find eight swirling what do you would call it?
Poles.
Poles,
Pools.
yeah, poles or but it has like a coil wrapped around them. There's eight of them, giant. They go about a
Mm.
mile down into the ground. So they're
Yeah.
like, ah, what's that?
For
And again, it kind of just
was it
makes
for the
that
water?
I don't. Again, a lot of people speculate that the pyramids were power plants.
They
The
were like
water was
nuclear power.
using.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nuclear power plants. They had these. They were really an important tool back in the day for these gates, and they were like nuclear power plants. Um, and the top of these, they had this special type of like metal that was in between the gold plate, and yeah, that like sent electricity
Yeah.
around in such a like massive scale. It is unbelievable. And it's just, I find it so fascinating.
Oh yeah. No.
Love,
And
and I
again,
love when things pop up and we're like,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. And I think there's more
it
pyramids
is.
buried under the sand that we still don't know about,
I'm
like
sure.
Yeah.
shit. Especially there's supposed to be a second Sphinx that's somewhere out there. You know,
Mm,
I so much
beautiful.
mysteries are just starting to pop up, especially if you're getting more with technology. We have here in America, like they have airplanes that scan the ground for Native American mounds that just never been claimed, or the natives actually say, like, oh, this is part of our tribe, and some of these people actually would have to like uh, make the ground sacred, because after this discovery
Mm,
now, like even if it's on your property, you're like, damn, no, I can't even like go over there anymore. It's like, but that's
seriously?
with the Native Americans here, we have they have the rights. They
Yeah.
barely have anything after we took a lot of things. But another thing too with the Native Americans, they know about the Star People, and they have
Yeah.
similar stories of interacting with multiple gods that had different traits and
Mm.
different things, like the Hopi Indians with the talk about the Kachinas. You know about them?
I would so love to know more about the Indians and their gods, and it's so similar. And
Yeah.
I would love to know where it connects. Where do we connect? How far back do we connect? And where did we like go down from each other?
Yeah.
It's
Well, so this
amazing.
is the Hopi Indians. They make the Kachina dolls, and this is a form of the cargo cult. And if you don't know what the cargo cult, I can explain that to you really quick. But
Sure,
the
do
fact that
so.
these Kachina look very astronaut-like, and they came from a blue star that showed the Hopi Indians the three mesas that had the land that actually can grow corn and other plant and just more
Hmm.
habitable because they live basically in the desert out in Arizona.
Yeah.
But the fact that these things came out of a blue star and they all look crazy different and very astronaut robotic looking things, right? And they all had
Yeah,
different traits of
if you have limited understanding of like robots and haven't seen it at
yeah,
all, and like let's remember that if you have never seen something, nothing like it, your brain will almost like exclude it out of your vision.
yes,
So that is
because
like a fun thing to remember.
that and the lack of vocabulary they had. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah.
just kind of describe it. They're like flying turtle. Or that's why you get the flying chariots, the
Yeah,
within our
brilliant.
stories, they just couldn't describe what the hell is going to the skies and taking humans up there.
Mm.
But yeah, just I just think these are these are my personal collection. I collect the
That's
Kachina dolls, and
beautiful.
these are from the 1940s and 50s. Um, I won them in auction bids, spent a lot of money on them.
Stunning.
But again, I look at it
Stunning.
through the eyes, I look through it through the eyes of the ancient astronaut theory
Yeah.
by the fact that when these things promised the people there they're going to return one day and they left, they have started making these dolls to give to the kids. So one day when they do return, the kids won't be as frightened as fuck when this thing comes like, hey, what's up,
Ah.
kid? You know what I'm
That guy,
give me
yeah,
cookie, give me
that guy
cookie.
was nervous.
Yeah, it's like shit. But I thought that was amazing too, to keep the culture, the story alive through the dolls. And again, when they do return, they're not going to be as terrified.
I mean, that's
Um,
brilliant though. I mean,
isn't that
really,
awesome?
if I would like meet like this 3 meter tall old man with one eye and a staff and then Löwe, the troll, the Jotun King beside him, I would go like, dude, I have so many questions. I have, like literally, is this true? Like, did this happen? Like, that would happen.
Sure.
I would, I would not freak. I would go like, I have so many questions.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like exposure
I love
therapy though,
that.
which
Yeah,
is dolls,
yeah,
exposure
absolutely.
yeah.
therapy, and then
Yeah.
Well, the fact that like even with your culture in Iceland, they have little figures of Thor. They this to keep the story
oh yeah,
alive. That even
oh,
Thor and their
Mm.
gods promised one day to the people that they're going to return.
oh,
Every
did they?
Oh yeah, all the gods all around the world have the damn same stories about I'm
Yeah,
coming back.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Oh, that's
eerie
cool.
too.
Well,
I always look through the
I
eyes of
think
ancient astronauts.
I think that, not like they wouldn't be coming back here just to like rejoin us, but it was more like one day the Yggdrasil, or that highway of dimensions, the gates will be reopened.
Oh,
Yeah,
And then we will have that flow again, because that flow gave such, I mean, like, to see that amazing, like, yeah, the pyramids, the Inca people, the Mayans, like the knowledge they had, it's just so mental. But imagine if we would get like used to that technology with where we are today, with the intellect we have today. Like, I think we could really step out of that, you know, buy and throw mentality, the use for now and, preserve nothing for later, for my own gain and my own, egoism. We would grow out of that. I think we will help, human race elevate out of this, buy and throw, use and throw
Yeah.
mentality. Yeah.
Well, you put it very beautifully.
Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, Again, the way you describe stuff, I love it. And maybe it's just your accent. Who knows? You're just gorgeous to look at.
That adds to it. The accent adds to it. The aesthetic adds to it. But yeah, Rona, you're so knowledgeable and you have the type
Thank
of
you.
knowledge that we just can't find here in, Wisconsin and New York.
Not like Iceland. My God.
No.
No.
I'm kind of actually jealous. I mean, like, I probably could find a girlfriend a lot easier if I just go into the find an elf or a hidden
You find
person.
an elf?
Well, she's blonde hair and got a bunch of grace and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
If she looks
and
like Rona, I'd be like, hey.
thank
I love
you.
it.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you. That's beautiful. I love the compliment. But
Yes,
yeah,
it makes everybody feel great.
we understand that you guys are going through something really uncomfortable at the moment. And women in the north, we are often like, because the recessive gene is slightly weaker when the genetic is slightly harsher, or closer together, trying to avoid using the word inbreeding, but
Mhm.
you will bear more women. Like
Mm.
the girl gene is stronger,
Oh,
it takes a bit for the XY chromosome to come in, and for the fetus to go from female into male, in like sixth or eighth week, which is why every fetus is, in conception is female. That's why we all have
huh.
nipples, and that's why you have, the seam on the
Never heard of
scrotum.
that.
That's
Whoa.
actually the seam from the labia growing together, and the clitoris turning into the penis, and the egg sacs drop down and become testicles. So everything is female in the beginning, and
Whoa.
because of that, because we have this, closeness, we bear more females, which means that the male pool is slightly less fun here. They're fewer, and we're all cousins. So yeah, Americans, please come to
All right,
us.
Dustin, you
I
got to
might
head over to
you know what,
Norway.
I actually am getting my passport renewed. So I would love to travel
Brilliant.
to
You
Europe.
should.
No, I want to. I have family in
We
Sicily. I have Rona
Brilliant.
out in
Oh my
out in
God, you are so
Norway.
welcome, and I would love
Oh,
to show you all of the cool
We would have
shit we
so much
have
fun.
here.
Oh man, you and me would go crazy.
Oh
you
my
guys would have a good
God, and
time.
I would love to take you to the Stonehenge in Sandefjord. That
Oh, that'd be
dragon teeth.
cool.
Yeah, that the teeth that come out of the monolites that come out of the ground. That is such a mental, and that nobody knows exactly what they are, but these are stone circles, kind of looking like it's like landing spaces for something.
Oh,
I
crazy.
love that. Yeah,
Ah,
but it has this really ancient energy, which is more like fairy, like this is something like, deep, deep, like Norwegian school, like yeah, the forest witches, the fairies, yeah, they are really rich in that in Norway, which
that
is
is
kind of
so
like, it's really
cool.
fun, but it's harder for me to connect to. But when you do, it is powerful as shit. Jesus.
Yeah.
So
Again, you make
yeah,
it sound so magical where you're living and your homeland. It's just again, yeah, you're so lucky to be where you're at,
thank
especially
you.
with you're lucky to be in, well, those two countries are awesome in general. Your culture is so much better, and I think I'm more jealous you guys just get along better in general. You don't just kill each other and shit like we do here.
Uh,
You guys live
Justin,
life way better.
I love how you're talking to a European. You just go like, you just guys don't kill. Like we literally invented killing people, and
Well, I know that. Well, back in the day, I'm just saying, you don't have modern day Iceland people running around with
But
machetes.
you've
I'm gonna take your
evolved.
head to the lead hidden person. Shit. No, but
war
no, I'm
too
just
for like
saying
1200
you're,
years. But yeah,
yeah.
I
They
get
were
what you're
the
saying.
original
Well, I'm just
pillaging
saying, I think
hunters.
more European countries got it right. Like with
Well, yeah,
healthcare,
we
we
got
can't
some
figure for
really
some reason we can't figure the
yeah.
healthcare system out here in America.
Yeah, they do have a better healthcare
The fact
system.
that we would have to say if me and Chrissy get our fingers chopped off, we would have to choose which one we can afford to put back in our hand. I know Chrissy could probably afford both of them, but my ass would have to fucking choose what figure. In that gnarly, but they
Yeah.
can totally
That
put my it,
is super gnarly.
that
And
is gnarly. They have
this
the
is
full capability of putting both my
yeah.
fingers on, but it's only what I can afford. And you
But
in your
here's the thing.
country, there's no questions asked. They're going right back on.
No,
And they
because
pay you at the hospital.
we don't mind we don't mind giving 25% of your salary, your income, to the tax system because it funds hospitals, schools, and
Right, right,
whatever. But healthcare system in generally, like most importantly. And thing is, we get the salary you get after taxes. That is what you are used to.
mm,
When you see when you see your paycheck and you see your salary before taxes, it's like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Like that's mental. But you never get used to it because it's never a thing that, this would be money that you get because nobody would put thing aside. Nobody would put aside money to
mm,
have for school or hospital. It's just not what you do. We're impulsive people. No, I
right,
want this. But having, paying, I pay like we pay like 26% taxes, and
right.
your kids are covered. The school,
Yes, yes,
college, and
yeah.
hospital. You go and get you go and give birth, and what you get is like a lot of free food. You go in there, go like, oh my God, there's so
It's
great
so
food
awesome.
here. Like,
That is
and
cool.
you never have to think about it. And so to me, it is so strange to hear people say that they have gunshot wound or missing a limb and they go to a hospital and they just say no. What do you mean?
Yeah, or
Why?
they say
Why would they
again,
do
well,
that?
they probably would fix you if you're about to die. They fix you, but then they slap a humongous bill where
Oh, they'll
it's
slap a
just
bill on
you're
you.
not.
They'll fix you, but they'll slap a bill.
But did
Yeah,
you
I mean
know
for
that
free. I mean like for free. Like they would
exactly?
fix you.
Yeah.
Well, healthcare has been so crazy. Where I think the was that one guy that got murdered. The you know what I'm talking about, Chrissy.
Um,
The Italian pretty boy that killed that dude, and everybody loves that pretty boy Italian that did it.
oh, I know what you're talking about.
You
I
know what?
haven't
So
really
that
followed it much, to be honest with you.
okay, well, this guy, the healthcare, he's
Do
like the
tell. This
president of the
sounds so
healthcare system
interesting.
in America. This
Yeah.
kid just murdered him on the street, and people are praising this kid, like yes, because he's the one
Yeah.
that's making decisions of what's been paid, and I don't know. This I thought it might
Oh,
set
that
a
is
domino
so
effect.
bad.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it just be easier to have a tax system that pays for healthcare and schools,
yeah, I'd say
and
yeah.
everybody just go like,
I
you
would
know
pay a
what,
little bit more than be
these
knowing that
these
he's
are the
okay when I go to the
two
Yes.
hospital.
things. These two things, education and healthcare, is literally like what we all need. Like everybody
Yes,
needs these two things. We
yeah,
can agree on that. Healthcare and education. And so if everybody pays a little bit of their, paycheck, so you are literally investing in yourself, in your own health and your children. And believe me, as a parent of a disabled child, I use the shit out of
mm,
that. I I pay taxes smiling because I know my son is highly yeah, he needs such a heavy care, and
Mm,
I pay it gladly because I know that, the alternative would have to either have him at home or, pay a lot of money to take care of him, as it is, in America. Because,
mhm,
with these, rare type of disability, you speak to each other. And I have a couple of friends in America that have, boys with the same disability, and my heart breaks for them.
mm,
It is so hard, and I just don't understand how you guys, can do it. I don't. But I applaud you. We look
mm,
at you, and you kind of may feel like, we live in this, like, this everything just becomes normal to you, right? I find I find Massachusetts to be like some, like, tropical fairy place. What the fuck? Like, or New York, that is so far, like, it's just stuff that you've seen in movies.
sure, sure.
That's how rare it is, right? So we keep looking at each other's countries and going like, we've only seen that in movies or like Discovery or something. And it's so magical, but it's normalized.
Mhm,
Me walking around at home, walking through geysers, and just threading my steps between like bubbling pots of boiling water. That is normal. Like, that is super normal. That is like a good day, just like having a cozy walk, in between 100 degrees boiling water, and just feeling like, oh, namaste. This is so nice. Just another Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have such great things, every country I've been to, and I love visiting. When I visit countries, I love going out to, like, go out to the country, find the real community. Don't go to tourist places. Find the locals, eat the
mhm.
food, taste it, get a sense of it. And sometimes it's been rough. I've been to some rough places, and yeah, and some places I wish I would, like, maybe not have seen.
Mm,
Um, one in Lithuania and one in America, actually. Uh, Two of these places, it just sits with you, just going like, that is so sad. That is really sad that, that the indifference for the next of kin is this harsh, for the
yes.
neighbor.
Yeah,
And yeah, but usually, I mean, there is magical shit all over the place.
there is.
All over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even America has some special spots. But yeah,
Oh
this
God,
is
yeah.
again the politics here. Just it's been going down the drain for a long time, and just the healthcare system just never really fixed itself and never adopted the ways of Europe. That's just odd to
Yeah,
me.
I
And
think it's just
yeah.
really sad that, yeah, that because America is not a country, it's a bloody continent. It's mental. I'm gonna yell out a little bit. Stella, utabedde. No. I have this foster dog that keeps that keeps sticking in the yard.
Where's Kevin the seagull?
Kevin and his let's see if he's out there. It's a
That'd be funny. He's a little
it's too late in the
too
day.
late.
Like, yeah, they usually stay here till like 4 p.m. and then they, take a hike and go
That's
snuggle or
awesome.
do like a sequel meeting or something, meet and greet.
Again, like even the animals there is kind of like Snow White. When you come over there, you're like you stepped outside and all these animals coming like like landing on her. Talk to me, Raven. What did Odin say? Yes.
Dustin, it seems like your heart is actually in Norway. I think you should go
I
and
know. I
figure
need
that
to go
out.
and visit
Yeah.
Rona. That'd be
Hmm.
dope.
You're so
I think.
right. It is such a
I
fairy
think.
place.
That'd be, oh, look
It
at
is.
it.
Oh.
What's your dog's name?
This is a foster dog. So her name is Stella.
Oh,
So
Stella.
she's
Okay.
just, yeah, Stella says she's just staying with us until she finds a new home.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah, she's so cute though. Adorable. Yes,
How's
you're right.
your dog, Chrissy? Is it being well behaved?
He's locked up now. Yes. I told my husband, please make sure he doesn't come down.
We had a podcast and Chrissy's dog come barging in her room and
Oh my
knocks over her
God.
computer and like just
Knocked everything
and then
over
she puts it up and like
several
does anything like that.
times.
Yeah, it's just
He
it's a
wanted
Oh
funny
my,
cuddles, and
blooper.
it was not the
yeah.
right time for cuddles.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Saga and Lemmy, they come and make that chihuahua sound where the sounds like gremlins are killing each other in the background, and they just go like, yes.
Man, I wish we could own one of those
And in the background, you just hear
mugwise.
like,
Yeah.
like
I want a little
demonic dog.
gizmo. Did you guys see
Yeah.
did both of you guys see the trailer for the new Lilo and Stitch movie?
No, I haven't
No.
even seen it.
Oh man, it is awesome.
Yeah.
It they stay really close to the storyline of the cartoon.
Yeah.
The first one.
There.
It's live
Oh,
action. They
oh my
nailed
goodness.
Stitch, like his face, everything.
Really?
I
I
just
gotta
want to pick
check it
him up
out
and
after
just give him little Eskimo kisses or something.
this. That's cute.
I still haven't seen Lion King because the first one broke me, and I just feel
Ah,
like,
yeah, it's sad.
seeing that, the movie, when on film screen, it would just like traumatize you again.
Yeah.
Such a like victims to the 80s and 90s, like, traumatizing cartoons, Land Before Time, Lion King.
Oh
It
yeah,
just,
yeah.
it was
That was
just,
a sad
it was
movie
just,
too. I hate
God,
when the
Bambi
mom.
just meant to kill you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh,
Oh,
yeah. I wonder what as kids like. Damn, what are we watching, mom? This baby's mom just got shot in her.
yeah.
No,
Just
no,
look,
it's
just look at your mom die, and then your father that you don't know, never seen before, is gonna come and go like, suck it up, buttercup. You need to go, and then you're
well. I
gonna
think it's
hang out with some
this, the worst.
rabbit or something. Of
The worst fear for a child is to lose their parents, and they show that in Disney
course
shit.
it is.
Come on,
Well,
that's
that's
kind of
right.
messed
I
up.
know.
Hmm,
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
but
What time?
it was a vibe. It was a vibe. Still a vibe. Still Disney movies are like, they kill the parents, and the kids has to fend for themselves. Like Brother Bear? What the fuck, man? What the
Brother Bear.
I still can't watch this cartoon without just bawling my eyes out when the mom
Yeah,
comes back and just like,
Oh
no,
my God.
cannot see this movie without crying. Just like
Oh.
please,
I cry
utterly
every
crying.
time I watch the never ending story when Atreyu loses Vortex in the mud.
Mm.
Come on, get out.
Get up! Oh,
Move, stupid horse.
why did they make these movies so horrific? Like
Yeah,
traumatizing. It's like
yeah,
meant to break you.
yeah. Well, some of those 80s movies that use the puppetry and like just
Yeah,
really out
yeah.
there, yeah, like the Dark Crystal is uh,
Yeah, the one with the David Bowie and
yes, yes, yeah.
yeah, the great movie though. Great
Mhm.
movie. A little bit creepy that the girl was really young, but still such a great movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember the
The
actress's
la
name, but
the I think you're
she
talking
was
about the
really young.
Labyrinth. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, The Labyrinth. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What a
But
great movie.
the Dark Crystal is dark and weird with those creatures. I
Yeah.
just again, this is meant for kids. I can only imagine what crazy nightmares and just weird stuff. It gives me weird, creepy things as an adult watching that shit.
Well, we my parents allowed us to watch the movie It when it came out because it
Oh
had a clown
yeah.
in it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they probably didn't know what the clown was all about until you guys watched it. You're like, oh,
I,
I ain't
I
going to
I was
sleep
like
or near the
I
sewer
was
ever again.
10. I was 10 years old, and they knew.
Oh,
They
well,
just
they
found it to
knew.
be
They tortured your ass.
yeah, they were like, that will show them. Let me remind you that we grew up with, Christmas stories where where we have 12 Santas, and they torture you, and then their mother, if you don't behave, their mother comes down and kidnaps you to crush you into like bone marrow and use the blood for beauty baths. That's our
Oh,
Santas.
wow.
That is
Sense.
crazy.
Yeah, they used her in one of the, I think, Supernatural series, one of the episodes.
Oh,
Had
cool.
Grilla in it, yeah, the
Yeah.
troll mother. It's like, this vicious mom. But they put it in law in like the 1800s, because these are old shits. This is from the time that, trolls wondered, which these
Mm.
ones came up. So they put it in law in the early 1800s that you weren't allowed to scare teenagers with the Santa Clauses, because the kids were so traumatized they couldn't get up. They couldn't rise in the
Oh.
whole entire month of December out of fear of, you know, these trolls coming just to tear you apart. And also the troll mother has this, Christmas cat, which is like this humongous, like in leopard kind of looking cat.
What?
And
Really?
if you didn't, yeah, and if you didn't get gifted one item of clothing, that cat would come and collect you in the 23rd of December.
Whoa.
That's great. Shit.
Dustin,
Yes.
I have a birthday party I have to get to.
You got to get going. That's cool.
Yes, but
Oh,
you guys can still chat.
We can still chat. That's cool.
Rona, it was so great meeting you. You are such a wealth of
likewise.
knowledge. I'm learning so much about your culture, and
Oh my goodness.
I'd
Yes,
love
and
to learn more.
absolutely, and I owe you I owe you a telling of my past lives. You asked me to tell you
Yes,
about
I
it.
Yes.
do.
Yes.
We're going to
Well,
have
that's
Yeah.
why we
another
can make
past lives
another
on the next
episode.
episode.
Yeah.
Please. I need to
Yeah.
know about that. But you are such a pleasure to have on
Thank
here,
you.
Yeah.
and it was so nice meeting you.
Yeah. We'll
Likewise.
keep chatting for a little bit.
Well, yeah, keep chatting. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, so glad you got to meet her.
Yeah, she's
She was
so
dying to
beautiful.
meet you.
When she added me on Facebook, I thought it was like a fake account with some stolen photos, because
You know, it's funny. A lot of people uh think that I use an AI program and that's her. I'm like, I don't have that awesome money to have such a cool AI to look that human. Right? It's just very funny that
she's just
no one believes that she's
so
real.
pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's because she's like ridiculously beautiful,
Yeah.
and like her makeup is so
On point.
fantastic and
She
on
she
point.
dresses on point every
Yeah,
single day. She just
yeah.
does it.
I love this
Love it.
theatrical, like, yeah, theatrical, like, kind of like, the anime. I love it. It's
Yes.
so
Yes, she kind of looks like a
so
little anime.
awesome. Yeah,
Sailor
awesome.
Moon.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, but no, but here's the highlight of you traumatizing children. In the 6th of January, you have the third that's also like a very um specific date for the elves. And it's when it marks the ending of Christmas. And then when you have these what we call elf burn no, like álfabrennur, uh, burning, like huge burnings for the elves. It's like
Oh,
to
okay.
honor the elves. So you
The
you
big
have like these
bonfires.
bonfires, huge bonfires in honoring the elves. And then you have the elf queen and the elf king come, and they sing this amazing song, um, about Olaf the king,
Mm.
when he came to challenge the Elvish queen. And it's such a beautiful song. And then the Santa Clauses, which have been like kind of used, they've gotten pretty nicer throughout the years. It's not as bad as when we were kids, but they're still pretty naughty. But
I was gonna
they bring kids, present like candy, like shit
Yeah,
and stuff
right,
like
right,
that
right.
now. Yeah, instead of
I was
terror.
gonna ask you too, but the fact that Santa is a very popular all over Europe, and they all kind of have
Mm.
somewhat different stories. I don't know if you know the controversial story of Santa Claus in Holland. You
You
know that's
mean Krampus and those?
and is the Santa's slave Pete.
Yeah,
You seen that? Like
I
they do blackface there. They have a bunch of white people dressed up
yeah,
like
yeah,
black
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's very
yeah. But
controversial.
it is, but you need to like. I think it's because they only they only pick that one out. It's I think it's like the tradition of Krampus. It's where like the most horrific deeds of men, and he comes and gets you for those. And some of them were enslaving people.
Yeah.
So it is, and like I said, Europeans, but I'm not gonna defend it. We have messed up traditions. Like
Oh
they are
yeah. Well,
super messed up.
oh yeah. But again, they're so old where it's just like they're just not gonna change it because it's just part of your culture anyways.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
I just find it very interesting that some of them are just pretty out there, and then some of them are just very simple, like it's Santa Claus. And then again, hearing it, there's multiple Santas. That's pretty interesting.
yeah, they're 12. They're brothers. There are 12 of them. They all have specific names for what they like. Like one of them is like skýrgámur, is one that eats skyr, the yogurt, and Dúfur, which is stubby because he's like the smallest.
Just the
But
seven
the,
dwarfs. Where's Snow
yeah,
White in this?
yeah, they're like yeah, similar, but they're like 12 troll brothers,
Oh, that's funny.
and and when we were young, like these weightlifting dudes, these strongmans,
Hmm.
they would they would dress up as the mother, as Grilla, and then they would run after kids at these bonfires and capture them and put them in their bag and drag them off out of the group, like I don't know, like 50 meters out of out of the public, like out of the group there, and then just pretend to like the bag opens and the kids get out. And they found this to be hilarious. My brother didn't speak for 2 days after being caught once. Yeah. And my mother called this as like he's just being hysterical. And the worst thing is this gets so normalized. I was like, yeah, I hope my kids get captured as well. It's such
They
a
get
fun
beaten with
thing.
bats outside the bag.
Sad.
That's why he's speaking
Looking
for
back
days. Hey
at it,
guys.
it it's it's so bad. I'm not proud of this.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
like how
proud of
you're
this.
the fact that your family like to fuck with you, especially with that It movie, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that's it says a lot about how we grow up. It's like
You guys kind of like the
magnificent.
again like the make to play jokes on each other in that sense, you know,
Yo,
like knowing
yeah,
to
God,
scaring
yeah,
people and having fun that way and
yeah.
playing little
Pr
tricks. Yeah,
Pranking is such a great thing.
it is. I'm a fan of the
And never
Dudesons.
underestimate, yeah, never underestimate a good prank. It's so good. Oh,
Are you a
and
fan of the Dudesons?
oh yeah, the Finnish brothers. Yeah.
Yes, I love them.
Karppi,
Yuka,
Karppi, Kallio,
Jyrpi,
Jukka.
Jorno,
I
HP.
love the pig, the
Oh yeah. Uh
Pamela the pig.
yeah. No, their show and how they are together is
Yeah,
genius. Again,
it is.
I think they're more extreme than Jackass. They do more crazy things than Jackass, and they grew up together as brother. And they're not really brothers; they're just close friends. But
Well,
again,
I think two of them are brothers, and
are they?
then the rest of them, yeah, two of them are brothers, and then the rest is like childhood friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, they are so cool. They
And
are
that,
so
and
much
they're
fun.
so proud of Finland too. And I love
Yeah.
just the pride and love. And then they came to America and did a show here. And they travel all
Yeah.
over the world. Again, they have so much love with their fans. I love them. Just their energy and they're so upbeat. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm.
they're funny. Yarpy. Oh my god, that guy. He's missing a thumb.
Finland, Finland is such a great country,
Yeah.
and the nation, which is kind of funny because they have such dark music,
Yes. Yeah.
and there's so much darkness, but it's so accepted. It's like, it's not called depression even, it's just like it's a state of mind. And and then they have, instead of, we use the word love, eller I love you, or like in Norway,
Yes.
jeg
Yes.
elsker deg, or in Iceland,
Escalai. How you say I love
yeah,
you? Escalai.
jeg elsker deg.
Escalai.
Yeah.
Escalai. It's
And in
beautiful.
Iceland it's like jeg elsker deg, right? And then Finland, I I hate you the least of everybody. Like that like I
It's totally backwards.
like of everybody, I like you the most. Like I
Yeah.
dislike you the least or something.
This is like you the least. Yeah.
It's such a complicated word, but it's such a fun thing. But it's like, and they say, well, it's meant in a loving way, and I
Yes.
totally get that, because we have a phrase we say about babies,
Hmm.
which is, I want to eat off your face, you
Yes.
raisin asshole. Yeah, and it's such a words of endearment. Like, it's like the most beautiful thing you can say to a baby. I want to eat off your face, you raisin asshole. That is, and it's just like, yeah, such a cute thing to say to a
Yeah,
baby.
that is hilarious. I mean, it probably sounds beautiful when it's spoken in the language, but yeah, when you put it into America, it's just like English.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think if you put it out into any other language, like if you translate it over to Norwegian, it doesn't work. It's just Iceland. Yeah, we own that one. Want to eat off your face.
That is awesome. Well, hey,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
we'll end it here because I want to have you back. Would you be willing to come back and do another episode
Oh
with me?
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yes. We
Yes.
haven't we haven't deep dived on the mermaid people,
We
but
really, yeah, we just touched on it. We do it again.
we touched down on it. Yeah, absolutely.
I just felt we
Because
just had to catch up with each other.
yeah, that
Yeah.
too. And I find it always so much, like, I love it when people are generally like want to know about these,
I do. I
about
find it
these
very
sides of us.
fascinating.
Yeah,
My God. No, it's awesome. Hey, but I want you to stay with me for 2 more minutes.
absolutely.